When is a parent born? When your world changes in a moment? Nani? Or when the moment is celebrated by all? When you start learning again? Or with a new role? Is it your child's first breath? Or is it just a feeling? Parents are born when they fulfill a responsibility.
Your child's umbilical cord blood can provide protection from 80 life-threatening diseases. Keep it safe with Asia's largest stem cell bank, Cordlife. One chance, one choice.
Hi everybody, a very good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us for this session on this afternoon, and it's middle of the week afternoon. So it's really my privilege to have all of you here. Before I even get started, let me do a very quick and very brief introduction about myself. My name is Sonali Shivlani. I'm from Mumbai. I'm a pregnancy and post-delivery, postnatal consultant, also a certified parenting and child nutrition counselor. I have been in this profession for almost 17 years now. So it's been a long journey and it's been an amazing journey, something which I've really enjoyed. I also coach professionals. So I head Kappa in India, which is an international training organization. So that's been a very big part of what I do, because I create more and more professionals who can then work across India with mamas like yourself. Of course, the online platforms have opened things up a lot, and you guys are sitting in Delhi and in other parts of the country, and I can still, interact with you. So that's amazing. On the personal front, I have two kids. My son is 20. He turned 20 in December, and my daughter turned 18 last year in September. So I am actually ancient. I like to call myself that, ancient and old, right? So just a little bit about how this webinar is going to function. We have kept your microphones on mute. आपके microphones mute पे रखे गए हैं, ताकि the session doesn't get disturbed. You will not be able to unmute yourself. आप अपने आप को unmute नहीं कर पाएंगे. ये session हम record कर रहे हैं. So the advantage is that you will be able to get a nice recording of this in 2 or 3 days after the session is done. So for your reference, etc., that is one thing which will be available. Before I go ahead, this session is going to last for approximately 1 hour. So it's a good idea if you haven't had your lunch. I'm sure you've had. I don't think you're going to make it so late to eat lunch. Otherwise, you get acidity, right? So just grab something if you haven't eaten. If you've already had your lunch, make sure you have a bottle of water right next to you. We are going to be talking about diet and exercise, and I'm going to be showing you some exercise postures. If you would like to try them, just 2 or 3 counts. Then if you have a yoga mat, अगर आपके पास योगा मैट है तो वो भी रख लीजिए. तो अगर आप एक दो स्ट्रेचेस ट्राई करना चाहते हैं तो आप हमारे साथ कर सकते हैं. And maybe visit the bathroom as well, because I don't want you to leave, right? जो भी आपके questions है, whatever questions you have, you can put in the question box. तो अगर आप अपना dashboard देखेंगे go to webinar का, उसमें एक questions का section है. And I'm expecting बहुत सारे questions, ढेर सारे, lots and lots of questions, right? So put all your questions there before I close the session. In the last 10 to 15 minutes, I will make sure I answer all the questions, right? So I'm going to give you 2 minutes so that you can collect a bottle of water, a healthy snack if you want, lots of pillows to make yourself comfortable, a yoga mat if you want to try the positions. And just remember, we are recording this, so that's why I'm not asking you to get paper and pen to make notes. But if you still want to write something while you're listening, please go ahead and get a paper and pen as well. So I will give you 2 minutes so that you can collect everything, and then we will get started. Okay? Awesome. Thank you so much. See you in the next 2 minutes.
When is a parent born? When your world changes in a moment? Nani? Or when the moment is celebrated by all? When you start learning again? Or with a new role? Is it your child's first breath? Or is it just a feeling? Parents are born when they fulfill a responsibility.
Your child's umbilical cord blood can provide protection from 80 life-threatening diseases.
All right, so now we are all ready to get started. Okay?
Cordlife.
I've already done my own introduction. मैं अपना introduction already कर चुकी हूँ. So I'm going to start with first and foremost saying a very big thank you to Dr. Meenakshi Ahuja for giving us this opportunity and helping us to interact with all you lovely mamas. So thank you, Dr. Meenakshi. We are hoping that she gets a little free from all the emergencies that she has to deal with, and she's able to join us for just a few minutes in this session. But I'm going to get started any which ways. I'm sure you meet Dr. Meenakshi in the OPD also, so you can also catch up with her there. But if she is going to be able to join us, that will be my privilege to have her as one of my guests today. Also, a very big thank you to Cordlife. Cordlife is one of India's leading stem cell banks, and they have organized this wonderful platform which allows us to conduct these sessions, which allows us to, share all of this content with you, interact with all of you, and brings us straight into your homes or you into our homes, whichever way you want to look at it, right? So support during pregnancy is something which is very important, and anything which facilitates that is really welcome. So thank you, Dr. Meenakshi Ahuja, and thank you, Cordlife, for this afternoon session. I'm going to start with my first topic for the day, which is nutrition for a healthy pregnancy. Don't worry, I'm not going to give you something difficult. I'm not going to give you a big diet plan. What I'm going to do is I'm going to help you to become a nutritionist for yourself. So I'm going to teach you how to plan your own meals so that it becomes really, really interesting for you when you are actually deciding what to make for the family on a daily basis, right? And then, of course, you're going to become a mother. So you definitely need to have all the skills to prepare healthy meals for your child. So the first thing, and I mean, I said so many things, right? For yourself, for your family, for your child. So healthy eating habits benefit not only the baby, but they also benefit the mother and they benefit the entire family. Now, how does that happen? Let's take a look. From the baby's perspective, that's so cute, isn't it? There is, first and foremost, optimal physical development. So your baby at the time of conception was one teeny tiny little dot, which was barely visible to the naked eye, which is a single cell. Now, once conception happens, this cell starts multiplying from 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8. It only doubles, right? So 8 to 16. And you can sit and do the math. It actually becomes trillions of cells by the time the baby is actually born. So the physical development, whether it's the heart, the lungs, the kidneys, the brain, everything is developing in the womb. From that one tiny dot, we're going to make a big baby, which is going to be anywhere between 2.5 to 3.5 kilos and approximately 18 to 20 inches. So that's a lot. That kind of physical development does not happen anytime in a human being's life. So it's really important to ensure that you're eating well, because the baby is actually forming. There's a lot of hard work which is being done. In human beings' life, we always in the future, as you know, we grow older, we have things like diabetes, hypertension, heart disease. All of these are problems. But if the body is healthy, these problems don't occur. And one of the foundations for health are formed in the womb. So it's your job as a mother to make sure that right now, during pregnancy, for good health of the baby, you eat right. The other area is the brain development. So when the cells split, when one cell becomes two cells, one part actually becomes the brain. And then the brain again further goes on multiplying. So that again becomes its own set of trillions of cells. The number of cells that a human baby's brain has is more than the stars in the universe in terms of connections. So all of this development is happening in the womb and in the first 3 years after the baby is born. So keeping that in mind, it is very important that the mother eats right. And you know what? I'm going to share some simple secrets on how to help brain development in the womb. So stay with me. Another thing that we also have is the birth weight. Now think about it. The last time, I'm sure it's last maybe a year ago, but maybe when you visited somebody along with your mother or your mother-in-law in the hospital, someone who's just had a new baby, your mother-in-law would ask the question, or your girl, very excited to know that, right? The gender. The second question they want to know is, normal delivery? Yes or no? So they're very curious about that also, right? Because somehow they think that someone who's had a cesarean section, oh my God, poor thing, she had a surgery. The third thing that they want to know is, what's the birth weight of the baby? Baby ka vazan kya hai, right? Why do they want to know this? Because somehow in our minds, the weight of the baby at birth is associated with the health of the baby. Now that's pretty interesting, isn't it? So as far as the birth weight is concerned, Indian babies are generally between 2.5 to 3.5 kilos. Of course, this depends greatly on your stature. If you're short and petite and your husband is short and petite, then you have to expect that you're going to get a smaller baby, which is closer to 2.5 kilos. But if you're nice and hefty and tall, then you're going to get a much bigger baby. But it also depends on your nutrition. If your baby is born underweight, baby might need the NICU, and the baby might also have early childhood illnesses, and delivery becomes difficult because this baby is weak. So labor contractions become really difficult for the baby to manage. If the baby is overweight, that also becomes difficult for the baby to come through the vagina. You don't have an oversized vagina, right? It can only stretch so much. So your pelvis and vagina can take a normal sized baby, not an oversized baby. And also there is chances of obesity later in life. So we definitely don't want that. Today is the day and age of being nice and slim, isn't it? We all wish that. But there are benefits for the mother as well. First and foremost, a healthy and safe pregnancy. I mean, if your pregnancy starts, you don't have nausea, you feel comfortable, your hemoglobin levels are normal, you don't get gestational diabetes, your sugar levels are okay, your blood pressure is normal, aren't you happy? Right? So this is a healthy pregnancy. And this pregnancy generally is also going to be a timely labor and delivery. You don't deliver before week 37, otherwise it becomes preterm. And we don't want the baby to be born before time. We want the baby to be born full term, which is only after week 37 of your pregnancy. Labor is painful, labor is long, and that's a reality. However, labor can be managed. If the mother is healthy, the birth experience is also positive. Another area is the management of the hormones. Mothers who eat healthy would generally have hormones which are well balanced, which means her moods are well balanced as well. And of course, all those pregnancy conditions like gestational diabetes, thyroid, etc. are also related to your hormones. And last but not the least is of course one of my favorites, which is optimal weight gain. I remember during my first pregnancy, I gained about 11 kilos, and it was so easy for me to lose that. The second time round, of course, I had an older child, so I was running around behind that one. So I gained a little less. I gained only about 9 kilos, and it was really easy to lose that weight. So gaining the right amount of weight is very, very helpful because later on, you're able to lose it also naturally. During pregnancy, you need about 300 extra calories. So I think everybody has been telling you, you're pregnant, eat for 2. That doesn't mean you eat instead of 2 rotis, you have 4 rotis. Instead of 1 bowl of biryani, you have 2 bowls of biryani. Instead of 1 batura, you have 2 baturas or 2 parathas. It doesn't work that way, right? So you have to eat only 300 extra calories, and 300 extra calories is one simple paratha, one bowl of vegetables, and maybe a bowl of curd. That's all you need extra in a period of 24 hours. You don't need to double your intake. You also should make sure that these 300 extra calories are coming from healthy foods. So if you decide on one particular day that you're going to have like this big bowl of rabdi, all your calories are over in that. And then that's not like the most healthiest option because there's so much sugar in it, right? So keep that in mind that your extra calories and your, of course, regular calories also should come from healthy foods. During breastfeeding also, you need to follow the same diet. So make that a thing in your mind, right? So if there are some of you who are already in the 8th month or maybe even the 9th month and you're wondering, should I log out? The session is not for me. Wait, don't log out just yet because the same diet is equivalent for you even when you are breastfeeding. So keep your notes ready. The most important fundamental, I told you I'm going to teach you how to plan your own meals, is the concept of balanced meals. We all know that we should eat healthy, but the problem is we don't end up balancing our meals. If I ask you, if I eat a paratha and some vegetable for lunch, so I had a whole wheat paratha, very little oil, and I had a bowl of vegetable for lunch, would you say it's healthy? I'm sure you're nodding your head and saying, of course it's healthy. Yes, it is, but it's not balanced. What is missing? The protein is missing. There is also calcium which is missing. So the meal is not balanced, right? The best way, and this is, forget about these food pyramids, forget about the eating plate, all of that you see on Google. The best way to balance your meals is look at your 5 fingers. Easy, right? 5 fingers, you always have that in your hand. You don't even have to think about it. So we're going to look at our 5 fingers and we're going to understand what these 5 fingers mean as far as your healthy diet and nutrition is concerned. Okay, so let's start. So the first finger is equivalent to your carbohydrates. Let's simplify this further. Main source is cereals. What does this mean in Indian language? Paratha, roti, fulka, rice, rotlas, poha, upma, idli, dosa, all cereals. Okay, so the main sources are cereals. You do have carbohydrates in other places like your dals, some in your vegetables, some in your fruits, but the main source is cereals. You need to consume about 6 as a minimum serving per day. Each serving, and make it simple, 1 slice of bread is considered to be 1 serving. So you consider that as your quantity, right? So if you were to break up that bread in a bowl, that much rice, that much roti, that becomes 1 serving. That's simple. Carbohydrates should be the healthier versions, which means unrefined carbohydrates, right? When we are saying unrefined carbohydrates, we mean grains which are not polished. So simple ones that you stay away from is white rice. I know it's yummy in the biryani, the basmati, but we're going to stay away from that. We'll try brown rice instead. Taste will develop, don't worry. It might seem like a little scary right now, but brown rice can be equally yummy. And we'll also stay away from anything like maida. Said batura right somewhere, but so we're not having the batura because it's made with maida. Instead, you can have a whole wheat paratha. Okay. Carbohydrates are required for overall fetal development. So that's something which becomes really, really important. And one final tip that I would like to share about this group is try to have a wide variety. So, for example, if you're having wheat roti on a particular day, try to have a jawar roti on another day, a roti made with bajra on the 3rd day, nachni on the 4th day. If one morning you're having suji chilla, maybe the other day you could make an oats chilla instead. So try and have some variety as far as the carbohydrates are concerned. Don't get stuck to only one type of carbohydrate. The second finger, right, is your fruits and vegetables. Now, fruits and vegetables are amazing. You know why? Especially in this time and age, they're immunity boosters because they are a rich source of vitamins and minerals. They give us a lot of antioxidants. They help to fight free radicals, big long words, but in short, they help to build your immunity. So, hey, we want to stay away from COVID, right? We want to be safe and we want to feel good. So that's where your fruits and vegetables are going to come in. They are also really low calories. So if you're hungry, this is what you should eat. Like, cut yourself a bowl of salad, make sure you wash it well, and you have that instead of binge eating a bag of chips. So fruits and vegetables, how do you decide what to eat? Choose a wide variety. When I'm saying wide variety, it should be from your season. It should be seasonal. Please don't pick fruits and vegetables which are non-seasonal. So right now, mangoes are not in season. We are not going to crave mangoes. But maybe strawberries are in season, so that's what we're going to eat right now, right? So always eat seasonal, because the fruit or vegetable which grows in that particular season is designed to suit your body at that point of time, right? So seasonal and as many colors as possible. It's really simple. The color of the fruit or the vegetable signifies the nutrient. So you don't need to worry, is this vitamin A? Is this iron? Am I getting some calcium out of this? Don't worry about it. Just relax. Have as many different colors that are available as per your season. Now, when I'm saying servings here, each serving is equivalent to 100 grams. Oh my God, that's a lot. Which means you're not going to eat like, just 1 or 2 pieces of your apple. You are going to eat that whole apple, right? Or you're not going to take 1 spoon of the vegetable just because I don't like it, or eat vegetable like a chutney. Definitely not. You're going to have a nice big bowl of your vegetables and fruits. There's one very interesting bit of research that is being done which says that babies in the womb also develop tastes. So hey mommies, if you're eating fruits and vegetables, maybe your baby is developing the taste for fruits and vegetables. And when you start feeding your child, when your child is older, they might love fruits and vegetables. Aren't you going to be a proud mom then? Aren't you going to be a happy mom? Aren't you going to be a relaxed mom? This is for your future. So eat all your fruits and vegetables, eat your spinach, eat your carrots, eat everything that is available seasonal right now. And as I said, I'm going to tell you those magic ingredients which are going to help the brain development. And here they are, proteins, right? Proteins are called building blocks of cells. I think now you've got the clue. Brain cell, multiplication. Hey, I need to eat my protein, right? It's important for overall physical development as well. It helps to contribute to the weight gain of the baby. So if you end up at the doctor's clinic in the 7th, 8th month, the doctor says, oh, the baby appears a little smaller, please increase your protein foods. And at that time, you're going to be eating a lot of protein, which might be difficult to digest. So right from the start of pregnancy and all through breastfeeding, make sure that you are having adequate proteins in your diet, right? It's also important that if you're a vegetarian, you should plan how many proteins you're having. And the best way to do this is every time that you eat. And during pregnancy, we recommend that you should have 5 to 6 mini meals. So have small portions, but have multiple times. It'll help to maintain your sugar levels. It'll help to prevent acidity. So if you're eating 5 to 6 times, have some protein every single time you eat. So pulses, which are your dals, legumes, which are things like your chana, rajma, your chola, vatana, all the nuts like your almonds, walnuts, peanuts, groundnuts, etc. If you're a meat eater, so your chicken and your mutton as well as your fish, this can be included. Eggs are a good source of protein, soy products, sprouts, and even seeds. So you can ensure that you kind of, have all of these in your diet on a regular basis. Calcium, which is your 4th finger, is very, very important for optimal bone and teeth development. It helps to aid the development and strengthening of the muscle and the nervous system, specifically heart muscles. So we want a strong heart, right, for your baby. Remember heart disease? We spoke about it in the beginning. We don't want that to happen. So make good muscles right away. You need to consume about 600 ml of milk or milk products. These can be in the skimmed form or the toned form. You don't need full cream milk. The only difference between skimmed milk and full cream milk is cream. So that's fat, and you don't need that much of fat. So you can safely have skimmed or toned milk. If you are unable to have milk or milk products like milk, lassi, curds, paneer, cheese, say for example, if you're lactose intolerant or for some reason you can't have it, then there are plant sources like green leafy vegetables, your spinach, broccoli, etc., nachni, sesame seeds, jaggery, and more. However, it's very difficult to plan how much you have to take from these plant products. And therefore, it's a good idea to then sit down with a nutritionist and make a plan for yourself. Because calcium cannot be ignored. The entire skeletal system of the baby is going to get formed in the womb, and you don't want to compromise on that at all. And last but not the least, the fifth finger is fats and oils. Definitely, I mean, that's also part of the hand, right? We're definitely going to have some of that, but you need to consume this in moderation. And the idea is that we kind of include more of unsaturated fats, such as what is available in olive oil, in flax seeds, walnuts, almonds, and etc. Try and have as little of the vegetable oils as possible, because that is something which is going to be, not very healthy for you. Ghee is a saturated fat, but it is definitely healthier than, the vegetable oils or the refined vegetable oils. So choose either ghee or other unsaturated fats, even to cook your food. But read the labels carefully, that the oils that you're choosing should be meant for cooking. You sometimes you go out and buy really expensive olive oil, but then that's not meant for cooking. It's meant for salads. It's meant for dressing. So we should not use those oils, because when they reach a very high temperature, they become rancid, which means they get spoiled. These are some other nutrients. Water is very important. You need to consume 8 to 10 glasses every day. It is going to help you to digest all that food, plus maintain your amniotic fluid, and also make you feel a little bit more energetic. Your lethargy levels will be reduced. Salt is a nutrient too, because it gives you sodium, but it should not be had in excess. You should have very little, and you should avoid all processed packaged foods. So sauces, pickles, achars, the pre-packaged foods that you get, the cold storage type of meats like your sausages and etc. Please avoid all of these things, because salt is very excessive in all of these, right? Your doctor has prescribed you some supplements, and you must be wondering, hey, Sonali has given me such this amazing diet ideas. I don't need to have so many supplements. I'm just going to keep all those aside. Don't do that, right? Because how much ever I may eat, I don't know how much my body is absorbing. And therefore, we give you these supplements, because these supplements get absorbed directly into your bloodstream. We call them more bioavailable to the body. And since we have such a short time to make that perfect baby, we make sure we have our supplements. So if you are in the preconception phase, you start your folic acid. In the first 3 months of pregnancy, you continue taking your folic acid. Along with that, you take a multivitamin. The doctor will help you with that. Once you enter your second trimester, you may continue your folic acid depending on your doctor's preference. You may continue your multivitamin, but you will now add in an iron and a calcium as well, because your requirements for iron and calcium begin in the second trimester. Once you approach your third trimester, I would suggest discussing this with your doctor and adding on, a supplement for omega-3. Because omega-3 is DHA, and it definitely contributes to overall fetal brain development as well. These are some pregnancy superfoods which you should try and include in your diet on a daily basis wherever possible. So there's sweet potatoes, amazing food, lots of vitamins and even some protein. So you could have that boiled, baked, roasted, in a vegetable form, whatever you like. Eggs are great. Include them in your daily diet, but only one egg yellow and multiple egg whites. That's allowed, right? Green leafy vegetables must have as many as you can. So it's not just spinach. You could even have fenugreek, which is methi. You could also have broccoli, cabbage. All of these will fall in the green leafy vegetables family. Pulses, legumes, and lean meat, that means you're removing the fat layers of the meat, are excellent sources of protein. Berries, if they're seasonal, yes. Otherwise, you do get dried berries. When you buy a packet of dried berries, just ensure that it doesn't have any added sugar in it. Whole grains are great options because not only do they give you good carbohydrates, but they're a great source of the B group vitamins as well. Avocados. A lot of people may not really like the taste of avocados, but you will be able to acquire the taste. So you can try it out. So having half an avocado every day gives you a lot of the DHA that you need, which is great for brain development. And then, of course, for munchies and snackies and those quick fix options, dry fruits, nuts, and seeds are great superfoods as well. Here are some foods that you're definitely going to avoid. So raw meat in any form, even if you're at a restaurant or you've ordered food from outside and you realize that the meat is not well cooked, just don't eat it. It's not worth it. The regular cheeses that we get in the Indian market are fine, but foreign cheeses like blue, brie, etc., you must definitely avoid. If by chance you own a buffalo or a cow and you're getting fresh milk, that's also something you can't have. You should always have pasteurized milk to avoid any kind of infections. Raw eggs can sneak into various desserts. So take care and avoid desserts which contain raw eggs. Fish 2 or 3 times a week is fine, but excess of fish can result in high levels of mercury, which we don't want. Caffeine, if you can avoid completely, that's great. But if you must have a little bit, then don't have more than 1 cup of coffee or 2 cups of tea in a day. Caffeine interferes with iron absorption. Caffeine makes you urinate frequently. Annoying, isn't it? And caffeine also affects your baby. So the baby kind of gets like, hey, I've got a coffee kick right now. So the baby kind of becomes really perky and wide awake inside. So definitely gets to the baby. Alcohol and all other forms of drugs should be completely avoided as they can lead to brain deformities. And we definitely don't want that. This is a big list of some controversial foods. A lot of people don't want to eat papaya and pineapple during pregnancy. You should speak to your doctor about this, but typically if you have a small portion of a really nice and ripe papaya or pineapple, it's not going to create a problem. Dates are considered heaty, which is not true. Dates are black, so they will make the baby black. That's also not true. However, dates are really high in sugar. So having 1 or 2 dates a day is okay. But if you have gestational diabetes or if you have excessive weight gain issues, please avoid them. Coconut water is going to make the baby fair. It's going to make the baby's head large. It's going to make the hair grow. It's going to cause acidity to the mother. All of these are really myths. So coconut water is really healthy for you. It's got good potassium in it. And it can be one of the glasses of fluids that you have to have every day. Ghee is just that. It's a fat. It's not going to go and line your birth canal. It's not going to make the baby slip out so easily. So don't get into the trap of having tablespoons and tablespoons of ghee in hot milk in the last few weeks of pregnancy. It's only going to make you gain a lot of weight. So that little bit on your paratha, that little bit on your rice, at your biryani, or tadka on your dal is okay. But anything beyond that should not be consumed. Okay. So I'm going to give you like a little 2-minute break at this point of time so that you can kind of, maybe spread out your mat, etc. And if Dr. Meenakshi is available, I would be really happy to have her address the audience. All right, so I'm going to move on to my next topic for today, which is prenatal exercises, right? So I'm sure you found the diet section very helpful. And if there are any questions, you have already put them in the questions box for me so that I can answer them when I'm closing the session. But now it's time to talk about some exercises. So I can see that Dr. Meenakshi has switched on her webcam.
Hello, ma'am. Dr. Meenakshi is coming in a few minutes. You can continue, ma'am.
Okay, all right, sounds good.
Mama, I love you.
All right, so we're going to talk about, just give me a second, let me mute this. Yeah, all right, so let's talk about exercises next. So exercise has loads of benefits, right? It is going to help to prevent back pain, most importantly, and it is also going to help to reduce a lot of pregnancy discomforts like cramps in the legs, acidity, and etc. that we experience during pregnancy. Exercise is a mood booster. It helps to elevate your energy levels. So that kind of becomes really, really important. It can help you to sleep better, prevent excessive weight gain, increase your stamina and muscle strength, reduce the incidence of pregnancy complications. And it's really simple. It kind of works like this, that if you're fit and your body weight is not increasing unnecessarily, then your hormones also stay in check. So a lot of the complications can be reduced. Because exercise helps to strengthen the pelvis, strengthen the core muscles, build your lung capacity, it can help you with a good and smooth labor and birth experience. And most importantly, it helps you to recover faster, in the post-delivery period. All right. I think Dr. Meenakshi has joined us now. So I'm going to pause at this point and I'm going to let her.
No, I think Sonali, you can complete and I'll just take it over there. No worries.
All right. I'm okay, ma'am, if you would like to kind of, have a word right now.
Okay. So I think that's been an informative session because I've been listening in between. I think it's going to benefit every patient definitely. And like you said very rightly, that the benefit of exercise, although we try to coax and cajole our patients into exercising, saying that it will help for a normal natural childbirth, I don't think that's the most important. The most important is to have a healthy pregnancy, and it will prevent all the complications during pregnancy. It keeps your sugars down, it keeps your weight okay, it keeps your body flexible, it makes you feel as normal as possible, keeps your digestion good, keeps your sleep good, expands your lungs because you're exercising, and that also gets a lot of better oxygen to the baby, and that's why also helps in your baby's brain and the oxygenation to the tissues of the baby. I think, like you said very rightly, that it's also to do with a smoother labor, is less pain during labor, and more importantly, recovery after childbirth. So even if it's an option that you decide, I completely respect your choice if you would decide to have a C-sec electively, but that should not be a reason for not exercising in pregnancy, because a smoother recovery, and so that you have good lactation, you are happier, because again the same thing, they're all related. Your digestion is better because of exercising earlier, and later if you've been exercising and your recovery is good, it definitely plays the best role as far as good lactation is concerned. I think all mothers want to give their own breast milk to the baby, and most women would always complain, that either the lactation is less or the baby's cranky and not sleeping and all. But what you need to understand is that definitely if you are happier, your lactation is going to be better. And probably you'll be happier if you're having less aches and pains and your body is recovering as per schedule. And that's where the benefit of exercise during your prenatal period and your antenatal period comes into this, why that's so important. As far as the diet is concerned, again, keeping a diet which is high in protein, which will help the baby grow, high in vitamins, so that your immunity is good and the micronutrients are taken care of, which is the fruits and vegetables, is extremely important. And definitely, because we all live very sedentary lifestyle, it's extremely important to keep your carbs in check. Also, as you know, unfortunately, because everyone's families will keep on saying that nahi, pregnancy mein jo marzi kha sakte ho and all, which is something everyone used to say 25, 30 years back. You realize that more and more girls are having their deliveries while they are either in the late 20s, early 30s, or even late 30s. And that's why your body can't behave and your metabolism can't behave as a girl between 18 and 25. Our grandmothers and mothers were having babies when they were 18 to 22, 24, where you could get away with your PCO, your diabetes and hypertension, which didn't trouble you at that age. Now, when you are planning pregnancies at this time, it's a complete, decision which is yours, and there is no harm in taking that choice. But the point is that you must understand that with that comes the burden of diabetes and hypertension during pregnancy. And that's why it's extremely important to take care of your diet and exercise during pregnancy. And that's why keeping a very balanced diet, which has a higher portion of protein and vitamins, because your calorie requirement increases very less. It increases only by 300 calories in pregnancy, which is there in an extra glass of milk. So frankly, if you're having 2 glasses of milk every day, you've taken care of your extra calorie requirements of pregnancy. So that thought that you can get away by eating gajar ka halwa every day, which you didn't eat earlier, is absolutely wrong. So you have to be very mindful of what you eat and remember that it's going to affect not only you, your pregnancy, but also your baby. So your baby will actually be a product of what you eat and how you behave in pregnancy. And this is why the role of now, it's almost called as a genetic modification or a genetic engineering. So if you take care in your antenatal period, it's going to completely change the genetic behavior of your baby. So that's why eating healthy, that's and keeping your sugars in control in pregnancy will not probably give your child that much risk of having diabetes in later life as you have inherited from your parents. So when we say family history, hypertension ki, diabetes ki, if you take care of this thing in your pregnancy, you're probably giving your child less risk of having these problems in the future. So I think, Sonali, that's all I had to add, and I guess you can continue. I came in, and sorry, I was in the middle of my OPD and missed, but I was listening in also, and it was really interesting.
Awesome. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for joining us. It's our pleasure to have you, even address us for a few short words also. It just helps to reinforce to the audience that, there are multiple experts sharing the similar viewpoint, and hopefully that will help all our mothers much more today. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
So I'm going to move ahead and talk about the different forms of exercise that you can do and show you some postures as well. So before I even start talking about exercise per se, I would like to talk about a little touch upon pregnancy posture. Every pregnant mother complains about back pain, and mothers will kind of blame it on pregnancy, or if you have back pain continuing post-delivery or comes after delivery, then your family blames it on, oh, you had a C-section, or you took an epidural, or you did not have that much key as we told you. So they'll give you all those reasons, whereas actually posture might be the culprit. And with more and more mothers coming to us who are working mothers, who are in sitting jobs, who sit from morning to evening, sitting posture becomes the first thing that should be focused on. So choose a good chair. It's really a good investment if you're going to be working for the full day, or even if you are sitting on the couch and etc. You should have adequate support for yourself on the chair with cushions, etc. So a good chair, a good, supportive couch is very helpful. The important thing also is that when you're sitting, your feet should touch the floor. They should not be dangling, right? So you shouldn't be like on a tippy toe kind of a thing with your feet. Your feet should be well rested. So if your chair is, the height is not proper and you can't adjust it, then you should keep a small stool right where your feet are falling. So that's very, very important. It's also essential that you take full back support. So if you see this mother on my left, or the left of your screen, she is slouching and the back is not fully supported. But if you see the mother on the right, her back is well supported, and this mother will have less back pain problem as compared to the mother on the left. And then there's the standing posture. Okay, so now when we're looking at standing posture, look at this, right? So this is say a normal person. We all of us have this little curve in our back. So you can look at your mother or your sister who's not pregnant. There is a little curve that is there in the lower back, which is completely normal. Now during pregnancy, your abdominal weight increases, so it goes like that. And then over and above that, you have the weight increasing in the breasts. So your shoulders start hunching forward. So you develop like this really slouched kind of a posture, which can become a little bit of a challenge. So this is what causes back pain. And when you are kind of, trying to correct your posture, always try to stand up tall and erect, elongate your spine, push your shoulders back and stick your chest out, be proud. And that's considered to be a good posture while standing, walking, etc. This posture correction is going to reduce 80% of your back pain problems, which is a lot. Now, before you even start doing any kind of exercises, you should always, and I can't stress this enough, always check with your doctor. Don't just put on a YouTube channel or something like that to start exercising. Exercises are best done under supervision if that's possible. It might be difficult to get to a class given the current situations, and I would not recommend that. But maybe you could get an online class which can help you, right? So the first thing that you should start doing is your neck rotations. Now, when you're doing neck rotations, remember you're doing it really, really slowly, and there's no rush, right? So you could try that with me. We'll do a couple of counts together. Slowly drop your chin to your chest. Left ear to left shoulder, back of the head to the back, right ear to right shoulder, and your chin to your chest. Okay, let's reverse this. Do it really slowly. Right ear to right shoulder, back of the head to the back, left ear to left shoulder, and chin to chest, right? Great for warm-up, great for circulation to the head, can help to reduce the chances of dizziness, headaches, etc. And very important, it can also help smooth functioning of the thyroid gland. Isn't that amazing? It's one of the most amazing exercises that you can do during, your pregnancy. The other one that you can also do is wrist rotations. And wrist rotations are simply circle very, very slowly and reverse it very, very slowly, right? So if you are working on the laptop a lot and, spending time in one position and for a long time, or sometimes when you wake up in the morning and you find that your fingers are numb, your hands are numb, etc., then you might want to do these wrist rotation exercises, which will help you to, ensure that the circulation in the hands and fingers is normal. The same way that you do your wrist rotations, you can do your foot flexes, and you can also do ankle rotations. This is again great if you sit for long hours. Of course, you shouldn't. I would recommend every hour or so you should get up and just walk around a little bit and come back. But if you can't, and for some reason you're stuck to the chair, then you should kind of, under your chair itself, you can just point and flex your feet so that your calves get some good circulation. And then you can just circle those feet, so that your ankles get good circulation. This will help you to prevent any kind of swelling, fluid buildup in the feet. And that's something which will keep you comfortable throughout the day. I love the butterfly position because it's a great exercise that you can do to prepare your pelvis for labor. So it helps to stretch and make the pelvis a lot more elastic. So wherever you are, you can sit in the butterfly position, you can bring your feet together, and then you can kind of, just try and flap your feet up and down. I would suggest sitting in this position while watching TV, maybe talking on the phone. If you feel uncomfortable, if you feel really tight, then you can stretch your legs out a little bit and then again come back to the butterfly position. So you don't really need to find extra time during the day to do your butterfly exercises. The cat and camel is excellent for back pain. So we start in a neutral position on all fours, where your arms are below your shoulders and your knees are hip distance apart, and the back is completely flat like a tabletop. And then what you're going to do is arch your back like a cat and look up at the ceiling, and then round out your back and make a nice camel hump and look down at your navel. And then you can once again arch your back, look up at the ceiling, and then round out your back and look down at the navel, right? So this is very good for lower back as well as upper back pain. And if you're, uncomfortable after a long day, you've been sitting for a while, then you should start with doing this. I would recommend doing this on a mat so that your body is more steady and more stable. The pelvic tilt is again excellent for back pain. So all you need to do is lie down, place your feet flat on the ground, make sure your knees are pointing to the ceiling. You can place your arms next to your hips and then slowly, very, very slowly elevate your buttocks, which will help to, strengthen your back. That's your core muscles. That's what's holding the baby, right? So if the back is strengthened, you'll have less back pain. And then slowly come back down. You can repeat this a few times after you've done your cat and camel pose exercise. The next thing you're going to do is leg raises. And leg raises are another good exercise to prepare for labor and delivery. So we lie down on that mat, fold our lower leg like this, and the upper leg has to be raised all the way to 90 degrees, right? All the way to 90 degrees. Remember, when you're raising it halfway, then you are going to be working out your thighs. And what I want to work out is the pelvis. So we want to open it to 90 degrees, nice and wide. And the reason why we fold the lower leg is so that our body does not wobble. And that's something which is very, very important. Squats are a very, very famous exercise, and everybody is asking you to do squats. And especially in some families, they will also say that, hey, in the 9th month, we are going to make you kind of sweep and swab the floor. And that's so not fun, right? So we're going to do squats in a nice and civilized way. We're not sweeping and swabbing the floor. We can use something to support ourselves, because during pregnancy, due to the extra weight gain, your body, dynamics are a little different. You might wobble, you may not have good balance. So you take some good support, either with a firm chair or with the wall. Spread your legs really wide and come down halfway. So your thighs are now parallel to the ground, and that's the focus that you have to keep in mind, right? So slowly come down and then go up, right? So that's a squat, which ideally you shouldn't start with too many. Start with about 8 to 10. And once your strength and stamina build up and you feel comfortable, then you can increase the number of counts as per your requirement. It's also okay to do them twice a day. So you could do some in the morning and some in the evening if you can't do all of them continuously. So that's perfectly all right too. Deep breathing can be super helpful during pregnancy because it helps to build your lung capacity. It also helps to strengthen your abdominal muscles. And of course, it's giving such good oxygen to the baby. Many times when mothers are practicing their deep breathing, we find that the baby wakes up. So in some senses, I also say deep breathing is a great trick to just before you want to do your fetal kick counts, right? So just try this with me. Close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. All the way to your lower abdomen, okay? Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Right? I would recommend that you do about 40 to 50 deep breaths like this every day, non-air conditioned environment, preferably in the morning, so that you can get started. Breathing, if you're kind of focusing on it, is also a great method of relaxation. So it can help to make your body and mind calm, and that's something which is very important during pregnancy, isn't it? The next thing you're going to do is Kegels. Now, Kegels are your pelvic floor muscles, which help you to strengthen the pelvic floor. That's where the baby is going to come out from. But before we even get there, doing Kegels regularly, as you know, Dr. Meenakshi clearly said that it's not just for the delivery. There are benefits pre and post. So during pregnancy, as the hormones relax all the muscles, the uterus grows, it puts pressure on the bladder. And many women will experience a little bit of leaking urine. And that can be so annoying and so embarrassing because you have to keep constantly changing your clothes. And if you don't and you are unable to, then it can also cause rashes, itching, urinary infection, vaginal infection, so a lot of issues. But if you're doing your Kegels regularly, it will help to strengthen those muscles and you won't have so much of incontinence issues during pregnancy. Post-delivery, your body will recover much faster. Your vagina will go back to shape much faster. And when you're older, like me, that's what I'm going to say, like me, right? Your urinary tract muscles will still be well toned and strengthened, so you won't have incontinence issues. You won't need diapers when you're an adult. So this is something which is really, really important and essential. You can start doing your Kegels every day. Unfortunately, can't demonstrate, but I can definitely make you do some with me with explanation. So just sit comfortably. Imagine that you have to stop the flow of urine. So hold those muscles and release. 2 and release. 3, release. 4, keep your breathing normal, release. Abdomen also stays normal. And here's the good news. You get to do about 100 plus Kegels every day. Isn't that amazing? And you can kind of break this up into 5 sets, 20 each time, spread it through the day. That's fine, right? But just make it a part of your daily routine from today till the time that you're alive. And that's what I like to always tell mothers, that this is, you can't forget me. It's very important, right?
When is a parent born? When your world changes in a moment. Nani? Or when the moment is celebrated by all. When you start learning again. Or with a new role. Is it your child's first breath? Or is it just a feeling? Parents are born when they fulfill a responsibility.
Your child's umbilical cord blood can provide protection from 80 life-threatening diseases. Keep it safe with Asia's largest stem cell bank, Cordlife. One chance, one choice.
Here is a surprise for all of you lovely mamas who've attended today's session. You're going to get a gift coupon worth ₹500, which is brought to you by Mom to Be and Cordlife. And this is for your shopping pleasure. So you can buy some things for yourself either if you want your clothing or you'd like a pillow. So something to kind of indulge your pregnancy and make it also super special. So make sure that you utilize this, because this is something which is definitely worth it. These are some books that I have on the market, which are available on Amazon. So Prenatal Fitness 360 has diet and exercise for pregnancy and postpartum with pictures and charts and etc. Parenting Mantras gives you answers to all the little newborn and post-delivery related questions that you may have. And Super Mom's Recipes is going to help you to, start cooking for your baby once the baby starts eating solids. So these are some options that you have, which you can pick up from Amazon. I'm going to now open the floor to questions. I have put my personal details on the screen, which is baby360degrees.com. I have my handle on Facebook and on Instagram. So make sure that you follow me. Right now, I'm running a free pregnancy tips group, and you can get the details from my Instagram handle. So make sure you head on over there and subscribe to my free tips group. And then you have my YouTube channel, which I would love to see you there, because I post videos there constantly. Now, in addition, I have also put the Cordlife team numbers. They are going to get in touch with you in about 2 to 3 days to give you your gift voucher and share the recording of this session. And in case you'd like to learn more about stem cell banking, then you can also fix a personal session with them to understand more details. But I would suggest that whichever number is comfortable for you, whether the calling number, the WhatsApp number, toll free, so that it's 0 charges, or an SMS. So just make a note of that so that you can kind of, get in touch with them in case you don't get your gift voucher, or if you'd like to get, more understanding about stem cell banking. So I'm going to open the floor to questions now, and I'm hoping that you put in a lot of questions for me. All right. Awesome. So a very quick question, Meenakshi ma'am, if you're there and you'd like to join us for the Q&A, please do unmute yourself. We'll be really happy for you to answer some questions too. So my first question is from a mother who says that she's diabetic and she has a high-risk pregnancy. She has just finished her first trimester. Can you please guide me? So we've already shared a lot of exercise and diet tips. Please follow them. For a diabetic diet, I would really suggest you should consult a dietitian. Don't try to kind of, make a mistake with your diet. So sit down with someone who can, help you with your diet on a regular basis to help you to control your diabetes during pregnancy. Can I eat pineapple in the first trimester? Yes, a small portion of a ripe pineapple is fine. Yes, sprouts, if they are in a cooked, steamed, boiled form, can be consumed in the first trimester. If your, your sprouts are not cooked well, then they can cause indigestion. So please only have cooked sprouts. Yes, the video stopped. Is consuming banana okay? Yes, absolutely. Consuming banana for a healthy pregnancy is absolutely okay. You definitely should make sure that you do not have gestational diabetes or high sugar levels, or if you are in a pre-diabetic range, then banana is contraindicated. But otherwise, you can definitely eat banana. One of the things for twins to keep in mind is that you should consume 600 calories extra because you're making 2 babies. So 300 for a single pregnancy and 600 for a multiple pregnancy. Twins will generally come a little bit early, so you have to do double the work but in lesser time. So protein foods are very, very important for you. You should make sure that you have adequate protein from the word go, because that is what is going to help to form your babies really well, and chances of not having an NICU baby will be much higher. Exercise may be contraindicated because with twins, chances of an early delivery, leaking of amniotic fluid, and etc. become much higher, and we don't want to take that risk. So please check in with your doctor, but if everything is normal, the doctor may allow you to go for walks during pregnancy. Okay. How can we overcome nausea and morning sickness in the first trimester? So nausea and morning sickness is basically hormonal in nature, and this is quite normal. If you can hold certain foods, just focus on eating that. If you cannot hold anything, no food, no water, then make sure that you let your doctor know, because then medications may be prescribed. However, when you wake up in the morning or whatever time of the day that you have nausea, have a small piece of toast and lie down, or have a piece of roti and lie down. Having a dry carb can help. Having dry ginger flakes can help. So you can try all of these things to combat nausea. If the placenta is low, should we exercise or not? How much or what exercise? So for a low-lying placenta, ma'am, it depends on whether you've had spotting, bleeding incident. If you've not had spotting or bleeding, you can check with the doctor, and the best form of exercise would be mild walks. So you should go for light walks. You should not try to do anything which puts pressure on the pelvis like squats, etc. But you can continue doing your walks. If you've had bleeding or if you've had spotting at any point of time and it has been diagnosed because of the low-lying placenta, then your doctor might actually ask you to be more or less on bed rest. So this is something that you would also have to discuss with your doctor. Okay, so as far as the sample meal plan is concerned, let's look at it this way. When you wake up in the morning, you can have a fistful of nuts. So it could be 5 to 6 almonds, 2 walnuts, maybe a few raisins. Then after about half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour, you can have your breakfast, which let's talk vegetarian. So you could have a big bowl of poha, which has some vegetables in it, which has some peanuts in it. And you can have this with either a glass of milk or a bowl of curd. In the mid-morning phase, what you should ideally have is a fruit with a tablespoon of seeds. So it could be a trail mix like flaxseed, sunflower, melon, all of that can be mixed up together. So 1 tablespoon of roasted seeds and a fruit. Lunch is like a typical lunch. So 2 rotis, dal, vegetable, some salad, a bowl of curd. Or if you want to have rice, then you can have 1 roti, some rice, or you can have only rice with your dal and vegetables, some salad and some curd. Dinner will look the same. And in the evening, you can again have, if you're having a cup of tea, you can, but have some puffed rice or makhanas with it. And additionally, what you should do is you should also maybe have a fruit, or you should have a bowl of sprouts. Or if you're feeling very hungry, then you can make yourself maybe a paneer sandwich or a paneer wrap, which could be like a sample meal plan. Okay. I have PCOD. How much jaggery or honey intake is fine during pregnancy? So when there are symptoms of PCOD, we definitely want to reduce your sweet intake. So there is no definitive number. So as much as little as 0 is what I would recommend. Jaggery would be a better bet than honey, because honey is all processed. Jaggery, you can at least understand that there is a possibility that there is some freshness to it, but as little as possible. Okay. How much should be the ideal total calorie count per day? The ideal total calorie count, ma'am, depends on your BMI. So during pregnancy, you should do your BMI, which will help you to calculate your base metabolic rate. And BMI depends on your height and weight. So get those numbers out. You can get the formula even from the internet, or you can ask your doctor to help you. But roughly 1800 to 2000 calories is what a normal woman would eat if she's not on a diet or trying to lose weight. And during pregnancy, you can have about 2100 to 2400 calories is what would be the recommendation. Okay. My husband has eczema. Any food item to avoid during pregnancy so that the baby does not develop the same problem. So, ma'am, if it is hereditary, it's really not going to make a difference as far as the food is concerned. In most cases, eczema is not going to transfer like this to the baby. So, don't worry about it. Is it normal to have light cramps in lower abdomen during first month of pregnancy? Yes, actually, it is normal because the pregnancy is settling, the uterus is accepting the baby, the placenta is implanting. All of these do cause a little bit of cramps. So you have to understand that the baby is actually a foreign body for your uterus, and the uterus tries very hard to get rid of it. So if the cramps are painful, or if they're regular, or if they're continuous, then you should immediately let the doctor know. Okay. When can I start doing Kegels during pregnancy? Till when can we keep doing them? My dear, I already said that you should do Kegels all through your pregnancy, immediately after delivery, and lifelong, even when you're as old as me. So this is an exercise that you're going to do for the rest of your life. And that's why you remember me for the rest of your life, right? Is it fine to eat Domino's pizza in first trimester? Yeah. So there's nothing wrong with eating pizza. The whole idea is that pizza should be healthy. So choose a wheat base, have a lot of veggies, or if you're having a meat pizza, then lots of chicken on it. So whichever place you decide to order from, the fillings or the toppings should be way more rather than just having, a very maida type of a base. So do your research and make sure that you get the right pizza for yourself. Okay. In the first trimester, if everything is okay and you don't have any incidences, then only walking is what you should do in the first trimester. What's the recovery period like? So in a C-section, it's about, normally we say you can start all your exercises about 2.5 months after delivery. In a vaginal birth, we say about 1 month to 1.5 months. So you could say that's the amount of time that it takes. But some mothers do report having a little bit of aches, tugs, pulls, etc. Even in 6 months post C-section. I would suggest that please do subscribe to my channel and also subscribe to my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, because I keep posting a lot of things there. Since the detailing of this question can't be covered in the purview of today's session. For your omega-3 supplement, please do consult your doctor, because all supplements should be written by the doctor. If your pregnancy weight gain is in the normal range, you can have 1 glass of coconut water every day. For acidity, you could try sitting in a Vajrasan position. That can be really helpful. Avoid oily, spicy food. Eat small meals. Don't go hungry. Make sure you eat a carbohydrate with every meal. So even if you're having a fruit or a coconut water, have a biscuit or have a piece of toast with it. So that will help you with your acidity. Can I consume cooked prawns? You can consume cooked prawns in moderation. Prawns increase cholesterol. Therefore, we say don't have too much, but once in a while you can have. Yes, you can have ginger and garlic in the first trimester. I have just entered my second trimester and doctor told me that I have low placenta. Can I still do these exercises? I have answered the exercise related question. If your placenta is low, if there's spotting, then you should be avoiding all exercises. If there's no spotting and it's a low-lying placenta, then walking. And you can do, things like your neck rotations, wrist rotations, calf rotations, all of that. But you would avoid things like squats, etc., because that puts pressure on your pelvis. I eat too much bread. Yeah, no, that's not fine, because bread is processed, right? So you should definitely make sure that you focus more on the proper cooked foods. Yes, if the doctor has recommended your anti-vomiting medication, it is definitely okay to take it, because your nutrition levels are going to get compromised and you're going to get very uncomfortable if you don't take the medication. The medication that is being prescribed to you is completely safe for you and your baby. The foods that you can have in the middle of the night could be a fruit, a cup of milk, maybe some nuts. Those are healthy options. To control gas traps in the stomach. That's your bloating and acidity. So eat small meals, eat frequent meals, and also ensure that you eat balanced meals. You know, if you eat like only a big bowl of chole, you're definitely going to get gas. But if you eat chole with some vegetable and a paratha and a bowl of curd, trust me, you're not going to get gassy at all. Okay, I have already listed the the handle, or it's on the screen. I think you should be able to see it. But just for your benefit, my Instagram is @Sonali Shivlani. That's what I have now typed in my answer as well. So @Sonali Shivlani is my Instagram. And just in case you would like to subscribe to the tips group, on WhatsApp, you can send a message to this number, and my staff will add you to that group. So you will get a tip of the day every morning, right? All right, lovely. So I think I have answered all the questions, and that also brings us to the end of the time that we have together for this session. I would really like to say thank you very much for joining me and being such a patient audience and asking so many questions. I love it. You know, when mothers are asking me questions, I feel that I've been heard, and that's amazing. So thank you very much. I would love to get some feedback for the session. If you'd like to kind of, you know, say a few words, did you enjoy the session? Was it helpful? If you would like to see any more topics being organized by Dr. Meenakshi and Cordlife, please do put that in the box as well, so that we can keep that in mind. So your suggestions are being noted. The Cordlife team is also there in the group. In the webinar, they will make a note of your suggestions as well. It's a good thing to try and sleep on your left side as much as possible, because that's great for blood flow. But if you find yourself on your back or on your right hand side, don't panic. It's perfectly okay. As long as you're comfortable, that's fine. Thank you so much, mothers. You've been a wonderful audience. Thank you for joining us in the afternoon. I hope I did not disturb your afternoon sleep. And we look forward to I look forward to seeing you on my social media, and I look forward to seeing you in future sessions. Thank you so much. Thank you, Cordlife, and thank you, Dr. Meenakshi. Have a great day.
When is a parent born? When your world changes in a moment. Nani? Or when the moment is celebrated by all. When you start learning again, or with a new role. Is it your child's first breath? Or is it just a feeling? Parents are born when they fulfill a responsibility.
Your child's umbilical cord blood can provide protection from 80 life-threatening diseases. Keep it safe with Asia's largest stem cell bank, Cordlife. One chance, one choice.